Welcome back to Ego and Empathy, the podcast where we explore the psychology behind human behavior and the subtle ways it shapes our lives. I'm your host, Mandy, and today we're taking a closer look at how a narcissist becomes who they are. Because narcissism doesn't just appear out of nowhere in adulthood. It develops slowly, shaped by environment, upbringing, and emotional survival. So let's walk through the stages of a narcissistic life, from childhood all the way to adulthood, to understand how this personality structure forms and evolves. It begins in early childhood. Most narcissists start out as deeply insecure children. Some grow up in homes where love is conditional, where affection must be earned through performance, achievement, or obedience. Others are raised in environments where they're either excessively idealized or completely ignored. In both cases, they don't learn healthy self-worth. Instead, they learn that their value depends entirely on how others see them. In these early years, they build a false self, a mask that protects them from rejection and shame. This false self becomes a defense mechanism. When a child feels unloved or unseen, they start creating an image of who they think they need to be to survive. It's not about genuine confidence, it's about survival through illusion. As the child grows into adolescence, that mask hardens. Teen years are when empathy should naturally expand, but for the budding narcissist, empathy feels unsafe. To care too deeply would mean becoming vulnerable again, and vulnerability once caused pain. So they shut it off. Instead, they start focusing on admiration, approval, and power. They may learn that charm and manipulation get them attention faster than honesty does. This is the stage where grandiosity begins to develop, where confidence becomes a performance, not a truth. By young adulthood, the narcissistic traits have become a fixed pattern. They move through relationships like roles in a play, always searching for people who can mirror their image back to them. They crave validation, praise, and control, but behind it all still lives that terrified child who never felt good enough. This is the stage where they start idealizing and devaluing others. They put people on pedestals, then tear them down the moment they feel slighted. Relationships are not about connection but about supply. As they move into full adulthood, narcissists usually fall into one of two paths. Some become highly functional, hiding their disorder behind charm, success, and social power. They might appear confident, even inspiring, but everything they do serves the same goal, to maintain control and avoid exposure. Others drift toward collapse, losing relationships, jobs, or credibility as their behavior becomes more erratic and desperate. Either way, the core problem remains the same, an inability to face the emptiness beneath the mask. By middle age, some narcissists begin to experience deep emotional cracks. Their looks fade, their influence may wane, and the supply that once came so easily starts to disappear. Without admiration, they feel invisible. This is often when the rage, manipulation, and paranoia intensify. They may jump from one relationship to another or seek constant validation online, doing anything to keep the illusion alive. The fear of being forgotten becomes their biggest enemy. And in later life, the pattern often becomes clear to everyone but them. Friends drift away, relationships crumble, and the narcissist may become isolated or bitter. The charm no longer works, the audience is gone, and what's left is the emptiness they've been avoiding their entire life. Some never face it, choosing denial until the end. Others may experience rare moments of insight, though it rarely leads to real change, because change requires vulnerability, the very thing they've spent a lifetime avoiding. Understanding these stages doesn't excuse their behavior, but it helps explain it. Narcissism begins as a wound that never heals. A child's desperate attempt to feel special when they felt unseen. But over time, that wound hardens into ego, and ego becomes a cage. So when you encounter a narcissist, remember, what you're seeing is not confidence, it's armor. It's the survival strategy of someone who never learned how to love or be loved without control. And that's why empathy, with boundaries, is so important. Because empathy helps us see what's behind the behavior. But boundaries protect us from being destroyed by it. Thank you for listening. And remember this, healing is possible for those who choose honesty over illusion. Keep learning, keep protecting your peace, and keep choosing truth over appearances. I'll meet you in the next episode.